I had no interest in sports whatsoever, but I'm not sure why it got me hooked at that stage of my life, and suddenly I kind of became good at it. I started first street workout club in Montenegro, and we kind of led that movement. And as I said, I suddenly became very good at it, so I started to represent my country in World Championship. It was for 2 years, and for 2 years I was in top 20 athletes in the world. So I kind of...
That is Nicola in both shots, by the way.
Yeah, so this is me doing something on the red square, and this is me on the World Championship stage. So, yeah.
And that's him on 4 fingers the entire thing. Please do not try this at home.
And that's muscles, isn't that? It was great.
That is not enhanced by that's what we refer to.
Get your heart out.
Yeah, well, can you go to the next slide? So yeah, I guess so. That kind of mentality that I gained during the workout process and gaining all those accomplishments across the region and on world stage, kind of installed that mindset of me climbing the ladder, because it's kind of ever changing. So you can't do same stuff every half year. You need to adapt to a new situation because you are kind of higher on some level and you need to satisfy some higher rules. So I'm now trying to implement all of that mindset to kind of business world.
But you also, after you finished competing yourself, you became like a coach and mentor to others in the team.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, because I was the one who started that movement, who started that club. It was official sport club, first of that kind in Montenegro. I was kind of leader in it, and it wasn't because I wanted to be a leader or I aspired. It's just because I was good at it, and a lot of young people wanted to follow me. They wanted to spend time with that our core group, and it was very kind of organically grew up. So yeah, that's pretty much it about it.
Okay.
And later I had, it was short history because I had only one successor to mentor him to go to the World Championship, but after that I had to move on from sports, so everything collapsed.
Right, okay, well let's talk about what you moved on to in your early career studies and struggles.
Well, yeah, so not so fancy. So after finishing high school, I get kind of a degree in nautical technician. So every kind of dream from our hometown is to go to work on a ship and to drive those big tankers. So I get a lot of qualification for that, but I wouldn't trust me even with small boats. Let alone tankers.
So that would be a merchant navy, wouldn't that be like what you're doing?
Yeah, but you need to climb up the ranks when you start doing it, but it's still only 4 ranks to climb up until you are driving that big tanker, so it's it's scary.
Yeah, I've seen your driving.
So yeah, and also I got to uni. It was like almost full year, but I have only seven days official being at that university for computer science, and the reason why I dropped out is because almost in the beginning I asked them what I'm going to learn, what can I do after I finish this, and they showed me a couple of the websites and mobile applications, which I was able to kind of do it myself even 5 years before that stage. So it was kind of wasting your time, but still I gave it a go for 1 year, and then I got summer job as taxi driver in Kotor, which was kind of the lowest point of my life. I mean, it wasn't that lowest because it was a summer job as a student, and you are just doing it to get some funds. But the thing is that it's very hard job to take when you are super young, because all of your colleagues and friends are on the beach and you are sweating in your car all day. And for example, first salary for a day was €9, and I was working all day to get those €9. And first salary for that month was €302 in total. So it was a bit tips, I think. So it wasn't great.
Has anyone here been to Montenegro? It's a beautiful country, as you can see. Kotor is one of the most famous. I think it's a UN World Heritage Site, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So, but the thing is, I had a contract with that company for I think 3 or 4 months, And after 2 months, I said, oh, look, I'm finished. I really can't endure this job, and I will just quit and stay. And they said me, because you signed the contract, you need to work 15 days more until you leave, until you get to kind of replacement for you. Well, I just say, that's fine. And like 3 or 4 days before I ended completely that period of 15 days, I met up Graham and Daphne, which kind of helped me immensely in my how to say, life overall. I can't say it only to business one. It's like it was kind of overall experience where they literally lifted me up in so many ways. And
I'll tell you what, this could only be what you call a divine appointment, right? We are in KOTOR looking around this beautiful place, and it suddenly starts peeling down with rain, right? We go, oh, I've had enough of this, let's get in the nearest taxi. We jump into a taxi, the random first taxi we find, and it was driven by him. On the way back to our hotel, it's about a half-hour journey, right? We just think, oh, thank goodness we're out of the rain, we just sat there. And suddenly this driver starts trying to sell us on this all-day tour of Montenegro the next day. So he starts pulling out these like A4 photographs. We could go there, and we could go there, and it's 90 euros for the whole day.
it was not better paid than being.
What could we lose? We're standing outside the hotel the next day. I said to Daphne, I bet he doesn't turn up. And then he does turn up, and the rest is history. So yeah, that's how we met.
Yeah, that was kind of very turning point for my whole life. So, like in kind of many ways, because it changed my perspective on the world. Because I guess also they very quickly bet on my skills and kind of give me some web development work in like 2 or 3 months. And also the turning point, this is kind of all business activity, but the turning point for my life is when they got some business activity going on in Montenegro. And till that point in my life, everything was hectic. A lot of things is happening, you need to stay on top of many things. It is always hectic, never a peaceful environment. You are always need to struggle to accomplish something. But when I was with them those few days, I just felt that they have kind of shield of peace around them. And by that point, I didn't know anything about faith. I mean, I knew I grew up in an Orthodox family, but it was kind of a very strict one where you don't find out what is going in faith. And I kind of subtly asked them, how come that you are so peaceful? I mean, and they said, well, we are not speaking this to everyone, but when you ask, then they introduced me to Alpha course, which kind of gets you closer with a bunch of very useful information to the faith, to the Christianity. So that was the kind of turning point. So it kind of laid out very good foundations.
And also, this was during the pandemic, wasn't it? So you did it online.
Yeah, that's right. I did it online.
One of the amazing things to me was when they moved the course online during the pandemic, I thought, what's going to happen to the Holy Spirit part? Because that's always one of the most pivotal points in an Alpha course. Is that going to really work across Zoom? And apparently it did. And people were touched by the Holy Spirit across Zoom calls, which is going to be amazing. But you missed out on one important part, which is what were we doing? And the reason we were there, this was 2018. And in Britain at that time, we thought that we were going to have a Marxist Jeremy Corbyn, and we wanted Plan B. So we learned through some research that you can buy a property in Montenegro, you can get residence there. And at the time, corporation tax and income tax were both less than 10%. So we bought a place in Tivat, which is like a coastal resort in Montenegro. And there, I mean, they make Portugal's paperwork look advanced. I mean, you know, it's all kind of quill pens and stamps and things, the paper process. But we were there to get residency in Montenegro, not just for a holiday. And that's when we started working closely with Nicola and we did the Alpha course.
Yeah, that's right. So, early business beginnings. So, just on how it started my business. So it was. I think I started in January, but officially LTD was formed in February. So I already had some kind of business traction, doing some web development for some of Graham's companies, some of Montenegrin clients, and then I pulled it together in that LTD. So I started by myself, but after a few months I persuaded this very successful real estate guy in Montenegro, which doesn't, it was okay in the beginning. I was so hyped up because he was so experienced, he got to all success, he also was wealthy enough. And I thought it will be kind of easy success for me as well, but it turned out to be the kind of very worst experience to run the business with someone like him. So it was very bad first year. I mean, despite our revenue was just fine, and I lived fully of that revenue of that year, the experience was very, very bad. So I took full control after the 1 year. I said, hey Dusan, either you want to get 50% of this business, either you get back those 50% to me. And because he wasn't a techie guy at all, he said, what I'm going to do with that 50%. So he gave it to me back. So I took full control of the business in 21. It was very personally hard for me because I thought it was because of that business decision, that bad partnership. But when I recall it, that was kind of pandemic time when everything was kind of shut down, like every kind of social event that you could go and meet other young people or develop your social skills was kind of shut down. So I guess that is kind of a huge part of it. So yeah, it was very, very hard year, but I think I endured it, and the revenue was kind of intact. It was just fine. So I lived off that year from. So in 2022, I got a little bit stabilized. It was more kind of recap here. I was trying to looking out if I should pursue some startups in Berlin, but it was just scouting, nothing else. So
I think just to help people, I think because this kind of leads a little bit of what Jürgen was talking about. I mean, so often we hear of business partnerships that do not work out. You know, I mean, how many people hear about a business partnership that hasn't worked out? You know, what is? I mean, I mean, yeah, I was somebody.
But also worked well. Also, another one. Yeah, the last one worked well. Sorry.
Okay, but yeah, we've all got the battle scars, I think, from partnerships that have not worked out. And somebody once said to me, it was a character, chemistry, and capacity that was important. So you know, basically, character, can you trust them? Chemistry, do you like them? And capacity is kind of, are they on the same wavelength as you in terms of their vision, their work rate, you know, what they put into the partnership. I think those 3 C's are quite useful: character, capacity, and whatever the other one was. So what was the thing that was wrong with that partnership from your perspective?
with that partnership, I think he got a character. He got. I think the thing is that he was like 10 years older from me, and he was kind of already like a senior bank manager. And he also had his real estate development company, so he was kind of very well off with young age. So I think it was just hype that he was moved on, that he is now owning some techie business, but he didn't have any expertise in it. Well, he had those private connections, but all those private connections weren't kind of good plans for the company in the end. So it was. And also he didn't have any attention, like he was, his attitude was that he's not going to work that much.
Yeah.
But you found out that like 6 months after, you don't find it out like on the beginning, oh, it's so hyped up, we are creating everything, we are creating so and so many packages for these companies in this part of capital, and and after 1 month, nothing, after 2 months, nothing, well, on 6 months you know everything. So from 6 months it was more kind of ignoring phase between each of us. I was kind of running that office in capital. I had few workers in office, few workers remotely, and partially maybe I could ignore his bad partnerships, but the other thing was that we are very lacking of talent in Montenegro. So we couldn't produce high enough quality for clients. I mean, it was kind of good enough work, but to be fair, I was feeling miserably sincerely, because I could do that work by myself much more better and easier without this team that I'm having. And I have to pay all these salaries, all these taxes on salaries, so it was hard for me as being.
You're back to being a solopreneur.
Yeah, I don't like the term, but I'm currently back to being a solopreneur. From 2023, I literally invested maybe 50 or 100 euros, I can't remember, in Google Ads. And it keeps me busy until now. And to be fair, I'm afraid to pay for more ads because I can't take more board. Because I'm very realistic with myself and I don't want to scale this business because this business is going to be replaced by artificial intelligence in like maximum of span of 5 years. So it is very short-term game now. Despite it was kind of long-term that I'm going to be in this space. AI is kind of coming over me. So I have to
just to give you an idea, there's kind of intergenerational difference here, right? Most of the presentation was written by ChatGPT while he was in Milan airport on Saturday.
Yeah, I just sent like a message to ChatGPT. Hey, I'm heading to this and this event. Here is my little life story. Can you create me this presentation? I know it's maybe not good design, but it generated it like in 10 minutes. So, and altered a little bit of background. So yeah.
How did the American thing come about?
Yeah. So when I invested those 50 or 100 euros in Google Ads, some Montenegrin guy who is living in USA, in Boston, got me to fix some parts of his website. So I did kind of good job for him. He was very satisfied and he said, hey look, here is a huge opportunity. I know a lot of people who are struggling in Boston because their operation cost is so high because they need to pay so many USA-based workers to produce websites, etc. And I'm trying to introduce them to outsourcing it from like Southeastern Europe or some parts of Europe because they tried it with India and the quality of work was very, very low. So they are trying to get a little bit of more quality. And he said, let's set up this first meeting. And he set me up with this one USA-based agency owner called Scott. And we are now working for more than 1 year successfully, where he is kind of front face of his company. He is selling and talking to their customers, while my company is kind of back office producing all that work. So the strategy is to just expand with multiple other agencies. We already have kind of talks with all those people, but it is very hard because we both need to kind of trust each other, and it is not easy just to delegate that work to someone else in Europe. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But as I said, it's very short term, and so all those plans with going kind of full gas with this, it's going to be ended by AI. So last year, on the beginning, I bought first small studio apartment. It's very small in capital, and then later that year, in November, I think I bought very good piece of land for a property that I'm building now. It's a very small rental cottage there. So I'm now trying to squeeze as much as possible cash from my current income to build kind of mini real estate portfolio.
Just to be clear, you're now earning more than a doctor earns in Montenegro with the work you're doing.
Well, yeah, that's great. But I think I'm not earning that much. I think the median salary is around 1,500 euros, and the top doctors are around 2,500 euros. And it fluctuates a lot, but I earn more than them for sure.
But also, I think what's interesting here with the land investment, we're going to look at your project, but part of how you got this was you persuaded the owner of a larger piece of land to subdivide it into smaller plots.
Yeah, that's right, because of course I don't have that amount of money. So this seller was selling, it was very near a national park, and it kind of oversees, I forgot to put a picture of it, and oversees that mountain top, which is very kind of famous in north of Montenegro. And it was a very good piece of land. It was like many thousand, I think it was at least 3,000 or 4,000 square meters. So it was I bought only 250 square meters just now. So I said to him, look, you can't sell it quickly. And he was building a house in the capital, and I said to him, I can help you to give you a plan, and I give him a plan to chop it up to a smaller plot, so I can buy that small plot. But I also help him to sell first few initial plots, that he can see that is working and that it is kind of justified to get done. So I persuaded my sister's boyfriend, we just came back from Germany, and his sister, which kind of lives 30 plus years in Germany, and it was easy to sell them like 1,000 plus square meters of that plot, and that kind of idea to build all those cottages. So yeah, that was the kind of how we started, and in no time, in like 3 months, he sold 20 plus plots. So he's fully sold.
I mean, anyone that's into real estate development, Montenegro is a blue ocean. There's so much development to do there. They've got 3 national parks. They've got skiing in the north, near where you are. They've got Porto Montenegro, which some people are calling the Monaco of the Adriatic. So it's a really beautiful developing country. So anyone that's into property development and a low tax regime definitely should take a look at it. So that's
it's
an honest impression.
Not a beautiful one, but the architect was from Ethiopia, and it won't look like this. But it is just to give you an impression of how it is going to be. So it is 30 square meters in base, 30 square in under roof area. GDV of the project is around 60,000 euros. I was happy to sell it much under that price, but Graham preceded me with much better strategy to just hold it and rent it out, because we have very long summer season in this part of the country. So and it kind of rents out. I think around, not I think, but the same cottages around mine are renting out for 80 euros a day. So it will be kind of full rental income.
And if you get a 50% loan to value against the 60,000, you get 30,000 to build another.
Yeah, that's the kind of strategy that I will work out with Graham, because I was happy to sell it like 50% of the price just to get the cash to do another project. But it's much better to just get that loan of 50% against the value of 60k to just start another project. And to be fair, it is so underdeveloped area that if someone wants to develop it, it can do it like for 10 or 15 years easily.
Yeah. So basically, I think that part of the strategy now is to mitigate the risk of AI taking over his core business by building a property portfolio that will generate passive rental income in the background. And that's not a bad strategy to have when you're 26. It's a pretty good strategy at any day. But if you do one of those a year for the next 5 years or something.
Yeah, and also I want to mention that it has 5 single beds and 1 master bed, so the price of 70 or 80 euros is very cheap to the tourists who are coming to visit that area.
And there's loads of scope for capital appreciation as well.
Yeah, so as I said, I kind of raised that thing working alone currently, because as I said, everything is kind of became a short-term game at the moment. Also, I'm utilizing AI as much as possible, and I'm trying to stay on top of the AI innovations, not by myself by developing it, but what is happening around me. So, because that is going to be very crucial as I'm going to develop further in tech field, because a lot of the stuff is going to be done by AI. So for example, my English is getting worse because most of my emails are just checked by AI and checked for grammar. So it is kind of checked for me, and it is doing very awesome job. And for example, my English now is getting worse because I'm don't have to focus on those details anymore.
Like when you have a calculator, you lose your ability to do mental arithmetic. AI is doing that. I'm interested, because you've been at a conference in London this week, haven't you, John? That was all about AI. So does any of this ring true with what you were learning at the conference?
I think so, but then there's also an emphasis in the opportunity that AI can also present. So it's a mixed bag of fear, but then a lot of opportunity even beyond that.
Right, because I mean, how big an opportunity versus a threat do you see it for your business?
For my business, I mean, I'm very optimistic, but I am also very like-minded and resonate with the idea of embracing rather than being a bit resistant. I feel if you are resistant, then there's a high chance that you will be replaced.
Yeah. Because also now it's getting very much into white collar territory, isn't it? People talk about, robots in factories and things, but now it's kind of, you can do surgery with robotics and dare I say even some aspects of the legal profession could be challenged by this. Anything where you need vast quantities of data that you have to access and look for patterns and precedents and things like that, AI can do that in nanoseconds, can't it?
Yeah, and I would like to add, because of this AI thing is coming all over us, and I don't know, although I say that I embrace it, I just told you that it is kind of eating up my business. But I just want to say that we should be my generation, we should be very, very grateful to be kind of alive at this moment, because our generation is getting, how to say, our productivity is going to be fueled by this AI thing. So everything that you think you could do it, for example, in 5 years you can do it like you have 10 people behind you. So you just need to give few simple instructions and AI is going to get it done for you. Just to give you a very, very small example, which is kind of happening like 1 year ago, for when I'm building a website, I need to send a questionnaire which is kind of specific to client, and most of my clients are kind of owns different businesses, so you can't send a generic questionnaire to get all those details. And I say to ChatGPT, here are my all of my email communication that I have with clients, so I just copy paste those few emails, write me a questionnaire to get all the information I need to build a website. And it generates me a very unique email, which I would spend at least like 2-3 hours writing. It generates it in kind of 10 minutes. So from 3 hours of work, I'm going to get back to 10 minutes. So I think it's pretty impressive, and that is kind of 1 year ago. And also, you now can, for example, generate a lot of, how to say, concepts for a logo design, for branding, so you can find out what suits to the client best before you are producing kind of vector size logo or something similar. So I think it is scary for me, but to be fair, I'm getting much more productive, so it's kind of huge plus. So let's roll.
Yeah, I just saw a statistic the other day that AI is driving a record number of company startups in America at the moment because they're seeing so much opportunity. After the pandemic, the startups went down, but now they're way above pre-pandemic levels, and the majority of it has something to do with AI. So it is bringing out more entrepreneurs, I think, to look at these opportunities. So, future vision, where are we going?
So as I said, to fully embrace the AI, every change, you need to switch that to mind. Usually was saying you need to adapt to new things, like when they get to like every 5 years, every 10 years. Now it's coming almost every month. So that's the kind of current state. You need to be that needs to be kind of our comfort zone, which is kind of ever changing on a monthly basis. It's literally monthly. So I mean, you can't say it daily because it's not, but literally monthly there are some new advances in AI, and also companies like Microsoft are kind of pouring billions and billions into OpenAI company and similar ones. So the advance is so huge, and also, as I said, there are so many opportunities in AI to implement it across multiple sectors, because every sector needs to utilize AI to kind of stay relevant in their businesses. So there are huge opportunities, and also, I mean, like most of people, Jonathan can relate to me, would like to have a startup and to pursue some pretty big change in one of the industries, but I'm not ready to make any serious move on that field, because as I said, I know it's kind of very contrary, but I'm just squeezing as much as possible cash to have it in my small real estate portfolio. But this is kind of very likely future that I think AI is going to force me to pursue, not because I want to be some cool founder or whatever. So yeah.
I would try and make some time to pursue that Silicon Valley connection, I think, because, I think if
Well,
you leave it too long.
Yeah, that's right. And the interesting thing is that that Silicon Valley guy kind of came to me, not the opposite. So it was very kind of favorable position to be in, because I was in, as I'm working with these USA-based agencies, and their owners are in my LinkedIn. So this was a networking guy who wanted to get as many leads as possible. And when he added me, usually it is very rarely that someone kind of organically add me on LinkedIn, and I just sent him a message. Hey, thank you for connection. You can just let me know how can I contribute to this connection. I haven't asked anything for him. I asked how can I contribute to him, and he said he never got a similar message like that. So he said, may I turn the question? How may I help you? And I simply said, look, I'm the guy from Montenegro. It is very hard for me to be in the USA, let alone in Silicon Valley, which is kind of hotspot for all the innovation. And he said, look, I'm co-hosting this networking event, and let's set up a Zoom meeting so we can get
That's really important for any networking. You're giving value first. I think so many people come into a network and just want to kind of farm the place. It's always good to give value.
Well, because I'm for like 4 years now, kind of getting all my elementary stuff from the business, so I need to live from this business. It's not like that you just go around and play around. So I learned that I never ask anything from people, and I'm only here to serve. So if someone is in demand for a thing that I can fix it, I'm going to fix it. But I'm not going to be pushing, hey, do anyone needs a website or similar like that. So I'm always in that kind of safe, good position, which is maybe not good always, but that's it.
So you're going to become a real estate magnate instead.
Well,
So you're going to just to bring things to a conclusion. So you're obviously going to keep doing the agency work.
yeah, that's right.
You're open to a startup. You want if the right thing came along, but
Yeah, that's right. And as I said, I want to be realistic. It is literally slight improvements to the agency work. So nothing huge for me to anyone expect or me to expect it. It will be. And also, I would like to mention that figure. For example, for the first of my year with my team, we made only 20 plus K in revenue in 1 year. And alone now, I'm doing it in like in less than a half year, doing it alone by myself without managing any people. So that is kind of very important thing to mention, because as I said, the only thing for me important is just to get as much cash as possible from this business, because it's now a very short vision business. It's not like long-term business at all. So yeah, that's it.
okay. So you have to be resilient and adaptable.
Yeah, I guess
You're
so.
in an international network, and you're committed to continuous growth. So lots of key important lessons there. So, any questions for Nicola?
Yeah, why did you decide to take your investments to real estate when you could maybe just invest into AI that could be pertinent to your business right now?
Yeah, so because I don't have much capital, and I'm sure that when you hear that those billions investments in AI companies or whatever, you with like few tens of Ks, you don't feel powerful to make change with that capital. And also I was in need of a home. The trouble is, I mean, I'm not using it as a home, but it was my kind of inner emotional complex, as I may say. I was kind of renting a lot of places. I was moving, in 1 year I moved like 5 times, and it was kind of crazy and hectic to do such stuff, and also I didn't like to pay the rent. So I really felt like it was a real waste of money to pay that rent. I know it wasn't much, but those 250 and 300 euros a month was very hard, and you kind of barely making the ends meet. So then I decided, why wouldn't I? At that point, I had some cash, and I had like almost 15K. So the property was very cheap. So the property was 33K. I get a loan for 20K. I got, well, because I had a guarantee from my company, and also I used my mom's work at the hotel as a hotel chef to get all those things together, so I can get the 20K loan. It was like getting 2 million, not 20K. Yeah, but I got it, and the plan was, because the loan terms were not great, the plan was to kind of pay it as quickly as possible. So the plan is to pay the principal, not only the ongoing, how it is called.
Interest.
Yeah, that's right. So when but first I think 3 or 4K in my account saved up apart of that monthly payment. This plot opportunity arise. So I was, oh my god, should I guard this plot or or should I pay the principal? But I think this is much better that I pursued this buying a plot. And just when I finished this property in like what is it called, in before winter, spring.
November, December?
Well, yeah. So what is the time of the year before winter?
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, well,
See what AI's done to you.
I was going to say one thing about this sweet little chap who looks so baby-faced. He's not afraid to sack a difficult client.
Yeah.
You know, I recommended someone to him, but I know he's a difficult person, and she gave him such a hard time, and he didn't need that level of pain, did you?
well,
You sacked her.
Yeah. So I have to, because I'm the only one man and only one source of energy, and if someone is kind of taking that energy away from me, I would say it's not worth it, even if it was kind of paid 3 times, I would say.
Any other questions for Nicola? Okay, well, thank you very much,
Yeah.
Nicola.
One more thing, I would ask Graham to kind of give us a little pray here, and I also want to just say that I'm very grateful for your time to just listen to me, and this was my first time to speak in front of the audience, so please don't mind anything that I said wrong.